All right, everyone, welcome back to the Chronic Couch Season 2 finale. I'm Eric Sinsley.
I'm Chris Eversley. Y'all know the deal.
And it's been a minute. We've been a little MIA on the gram, on the socials, on the feeds. But that comes par for the course, right? We're both been dealing with some injuries. As you can see, we're at the beautiful Manhattan Beach, and we thought, what other better way to give y'all some updates before we close out Season 2 and head into an exciting season of Season 3 of the Chronic Couch. I think for Season 2, I kind of started on a high, and as we get into it, you'll see where I've ended up, which is back in a low. And as you guys know, who are dealing with chronic pain, injury, some mental health struggles, you know that it ebbs and flows, and I am definitely deep in a valley right now. So I think let's start off on a good note. My boy Chris has some really good updates. Where are we at?
A lot better than the last time we were on here talking about updates. Had the knee manipulation surgery, so that was what everybody was kind of scared to touch, but we got that handled, and now I have 125 degrees range of motion, 15 degrees short of the standard 140 that my other knee is, and she had a birthday. Both of us had birthdays. Another year older, another year wiser, and yeah, I mean, I feel like that's started driving, which is huge.
Big.
Which is absolutely massive for my independence and freedom.
And how long did you go without driving?
This was 11 months. So yeah, from September 17th, 2024 until August 28th, 2025, I couldn't do it. So that is no longer the case. So your boy is excited because I can get back out, I can do things. I was able to drive to your birthday party. I'm able to drive all over the damn place nowadays, so they can't stop me.
He's got a slick, comfortable, roomy new whip he's whipping around. And, you know, for those of you who know, when you're in pain and depending on where your injury hits, you lose a lot of your independence. Like Chris, who had to move back home in with his mom because you literally, there were things that you couldn't do. I know for me, I've been held back in ways where, you know, your, not to be dramatic, but your independence is somewhat ripped away from you. And that in of itself is a struggle and a hurdle to overcome and get through. So I'm really happy that you're driving. I know you said you still have a ways to go. What is that ways to go?
Well, the horizon,
like?
The horizon now is, as odd as it seems, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, I got the knee reconstruction in the wintertime. So the next 3 months is pretty much just getting strong, getting this knee as flexible as possible. And yeah, just waiting to see what my doctor can fix based on what I want to do with my life. So if I want to run, if I want to do any sort of, I doubt anything super high impact, but at least medium impact.
Yeah.
We got to go in there and reattach some things. But yeah, I'd say the nerve transfer is still healing, still waiting to get my dorsiflexion back. But like I said, as y'all can see from the scars, the legs gotten a lot stronger, got some definition.
I feel like the color's getting better.
Yeah,
too.
the color's definitely getting better. Your boy's been back in the gym too, so it's been good to just have that sense of being myself, because I was lacking severely for the past 9 months. So yeah, I mean, like I said, pretty straightforward, just waiting for the nerve to wake up. We'll get to about 9 months, and if it doesn't work by then it just didn't work, and then we'd have to consider what would be a tendon transfer, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We'll bring that out in Season 3.
Exactly.
Well, I'm really happy for you because Season 1 and Season 2, like, you know, I could see it in your face. You can see pain.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You can see struggle. You can see perseverance. You can see lack of sleep. You can see stress. And I think you being in the gym compounded with and coupled with feeling like yourself again. It shows in your face.
It feels good.
And I love to see it, man.
No, I appreciate that. I think it's something that, like, everybody knows from our guests this season to anybody out there still dealing with it. It's, you know, you're a lot more determined to get the job done than you think, right? And I think that's really important for people to know, is that your mindset is the best medicine. And again, community that we've built through this, and the people we never thought we'd meet, the doctors we never thought we'd get on a podcast, and just a kind of a, you know, teaser for season 3. We got some really cool people for next season, but it's been a journey. It's been a journey, but I mean, like you said, we started this year, and we've both kind of, it's still been a roller coaster, right? So again, like, I mean, I know we've kind of highlighted a lot of stuff to start, but give people the update on what's going on. I mean, I know already, so I'm frustrated for you, but you gotta tell them. I don't want to steal your thunder.
Yeah, so like I said, season 2, I was feeling pretty good, but the theme of my back issues is I unfortunately live in a space where I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop, and that has caused a lot of stress coupled with my work stress. Happy to report, though, that through all of this, I have gotten a promotion at work, so that has been huge. And you know, not to toot my own horn a little bit, but the athleticism that was instilled within me and yourself, to be able to get a promotion at such a intense work environment, competitive work industry, all the while going through back pain and pretending like you're not in pain, and learning how to advocate for myself. And speaking of self-advocation, me advocating for myself through my back injury totally helped with me advocating for myself getting the promotion that I deserved. So while this has been shitty, I'm very proud of myself, and I have not been able to say that for a long time. And so that's a win for me. The promotion's a win. But backtracking a little bit with my injury, as you guys know, I have really bad degenerative disc disease, and I have herniated L4, L5, not once but twice, so I no longer have discs in those 2 spots. And so what that has caused, and on my 33rd birthday a few weeks ago, I went into my birthday and I was in a spasm for a week and a half. And it came to a head while I was up in the sky on a plane en route from Atlanta to Los Angeles. As you know, that's not a short flight.
Nah.
That was the first time I have puked from pain. It is the first time that I have passed out from pain. And I just knew, I know my body so well, I'm so well in tune with my body, that I was not going to be able to get out of the spasm, and I felt a herniation coming. Should I have partied on my birthday? Probably not, but I wanted to. I had fun until I didn't have fun, kind of thing. It didn't make it worse. If anything, it just exacerbated it and sped along the journey. So yeah, I woke up at 3 in the morning. I was about to call an ambulance because I was totally crooked, and I couldn't put any weight on my right leg, tingling, all those things that we've talked about in the past with nerve pain. And I herniated a new disc, L3, so above the L4, L5. So now we wait for a pending injection, dealing with shitty ass United Healthcare, and I need to get the disc replacement surgery that was needed a year ago. So that's really kind of where we're at. I don't want to belabor it too much, but I will say that I got a monthly membership, unlimited cold plunge and sauna. And I've learned a lot about contrast therapy. So going from sauna to rinse to plunge to rinse to plunge has saved my life. Not to be dramatic, I'm just being honest. What that has done for me, not so much physically, because I will say the physical benefits that come out of leaving a plunge lasts for maybe a couple hours. And I mean feeling relaxed, feeling soothed, because you know what what a cold plunge does is it turns off those receptors. That's why they say you should plunge up until your brainstem. So that has been great. I highly recommend sauna and plunge to anyone. I have tried everything from acupuncture to yoga, and like I said, I cannot speak highly enough about plunge and sauna. So until then, I'm kind of just dealing with some intense pain again.
For like people out there who are, obviously we haven't been on here for a long time, but now you have a chain, right? You have L3, L4, L5. How has that made the pain worse? Or like, for example, you've talked about in the past about the feeling of just your constant tingling pain in your hands, like wearing gloves. Right? What does it feel like now since you've added another layer of complexity to it?
So great question. The L3 has added a lingering hip and thigh pain that I had not experienced in the L4, L5. So basically what happened was, because I have no L4, L5 disc left, and my degenerative disc disease is so bad, especially for a 33-year-old, that my other discs above are being impacted. And so to answer your question, I'm having lingering hip pain. I'm having stabbing pain in my leg, which I had in the L4, L5. And I would say the tingling in my hands and my feet, like gloves and like boots, has just been intensified. Today when I woke up, I couldn't put any weight on my right leg. So things like that. The trick is, and for you guys, is if you've gotten yourself to a place where you've worked really freaking hard to get your mental game back, is to try not to slip back into that space. So that's why I was like, let's fucking shoot this season finale at the beach, because the beach has done so much for me this summer. I spent more days at the beach than I didn't at the beach. I have decided that I'm going to move to the west side because it's the place for me to heal. And so I highly recommend anyone listening, watching, if you can get by a body of water, a lake, or up in the mountains, up in nature, it really is the best medicine.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about that. And I think Ray mentioned something about this in an episode. We were talking about nature, just getting to the edge of civilization, getting away from the sirens, the noises of the city, of a bustling city, and get some soundscapes of nature. So whether it's birds chirping or whether it's waves crashing, those are things that are quite therapeutic for the human body and the human mind. So it's echoing your sentiment of, this is actually my first time at the beach all summer, because I haven't been able to walk on sand and feel comfortable. So again, still out here in shoes, but it's a lot better than where I was 2 months ago.
100%.
Right? So I think it's a constant sign of progress. But if it sucks, don't get me wrong, it sucks. But you sign these contracts with yourself, and you shouldn't half-ass it, because a half-ass effort now gets you a half-ass result 10 years in the future. So again, we go through the pain right now because it sucks, but I'd rather set myself up for a potential future to be relatively healthy. So next question for you with the shots that you're talking about.
Yes.
Can you explain that to the viewers?
Yeah, so this weekend, and by the time this episode goes on, I was supposed to have an injection, a steroid injection. I had taken it, once I got out of the hospital, I was given an oral steroid. An oral steroid kind of targets your entire body. An injection, they're able to go directly to the source of the pain. So they're gonna go into 2 spots. It's supposed to happen in a couple days, and typical insurance, it has not been approved yet. So I just got on the phone and let them have it. So we'll see what happens with that. I have had injections in the past for my L4, L5. It was not helpful. Like I said, I need the disc replacement. Part of me thinks that this injection could be a waste of money. But the really good thing about my surgeon, who you will meet Dr. Beckett on the season 3 premiere of The Chronic Couch, is his approach. And his approach to surgery is to, if possible, not rush into it. So I talked with him last week, and he said, look, Eric, I can cut you open right now and we can do a discectomy at that L3 level. Remember, I've done a discectomy at the L4 or L5 twice. The second one was supposed to be the disc replacement. I can go in there and I can do that, and it'll bring you relief, but it's not gonna mean that you're not gonna keep herniating above and above until you get the root problem administered and tended to, which is putting discs in, artificial discs, in that L4, L5. My surgeon says once you get the L4, L5, which is, basically right above where you sit, if you can get that nice and strong and sturdy, then everything above should be fine. So that's really kind of where we're at.
Okay. And then, so the shot would be sometime in the next couple weeks. But then surgery-wise, it looks like we both might be back on the shelf this winter with our respective surgeries.
Yeah, and I'm trying to hit it before the end of the year, because I've already hit my deductible.
This is very true, which is very real, by the way, for everybody out there that knows insurance.
Yeah.
Once you hit that deductible, you try to get this shit taken care of ASAP.
Get it in, yeah. So yeah, there's the jumping hurdles through insurance and your doctors and your surgeons and trusting your gut. And like you said, you kind of, from what I'm understanding, are tailoring your possible surgeries based on what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it's a comprehensive, holistic approach that requires the right type of doctor. So I think we're both fortunate to have Dr. Beckett for you and Dr. Jazz for me, where they understand our situation, they understand the complexity of our situations, and they're just saying, well, what do you want your life to look like? And they'll give you the a la carte menu and say, well, this is what I can do, and this is what I can set you up for a better long-term prognosis. And for all the doctors that we've seen before, and I've spoken about this earlier in seasons 1 and 2, but sometimes you have doctors who just have a God complex, and if they can't fix it, nobody can. So, for certain things in my knee, I've gotten 6th, 7th, 8th opinions on stuff until I got to the right person who said, no, I'm willing to go the distance with you.
Right.
So I felt like an addict almost, going from door to door to just say, somebody help, somebody help. I don't want to be stuck like this at 33. And so I finally found the right person. And he's like, all right, no, we're going to be friends for a few years, but let's get to it. So that's where we're at. And I think that's the most impactful thing you can do, is going back to our overarching theme with anything that we talk about, is just self-advocacy. Because so many people just take that first opinion and just say, well, the doctor said this, so that must be the gospel. When that's rarely ever the case.
Yeah.
It's rarely ever the case. So 2nd, 3rd, fourth opinions, especially if you've hit your deductibles. Keep going. Keep going to these doctors, because there will be a doctor out there or a team of doctors who could help you.
Yeah.
And I just, no matter how long the road may seem, as long as you're not traveling alone, again, whether that's your community circle, your close friends, your medical team, it makes all the world a difference, because as we touched on before, the chronic injury / illness space can be so isolatory. And it's a very, very dark place that you don't want to stay at for very long. So I'm not saying it's something that you have to brush over and just act all macho about, but you need to sit there but not stay there for too long. Mm-hmm. So, I feel relieved to know that we've at some point in season 2 found some relief from our injuries. Yeah. But as we always said from the start, it is a very roller coaster like journey. It's just a bunch of ups and downs. So, like right now, prime example is we're at the inverse of each other, right? Like you're going back into your more drastic surgeries, and I'm coming out of a little bit of the thing. But then when I go back on my next surgery, you'll be coming out of yours, and I'll go back under. Yeah. So it's just the yin and the yang of the chronic couch.
And honestly, that's what makes it so great.
That's true.
In the worst, best way possible is we're dealing with our shit in real time. And like I said, sometimes we're a little MIA, but I think that is kind of what makes this even more special and more real and more authentic, because again, this guy's hustling, I'm hustling with our jobs. This is just a passion project, selfishly to help us both, but really to help others. It's been a ride.
Yeah, and I don't know how many more miles we got, but I know it ain't over yet. So
for sure,
it's definitely the case. But it's been a very enlightening season 2, and like you said, it's just we'll try to do better at being consistent and stuff like that. But like I tell all my friends and even some of my clients, life be lifing. And we always told y'all from day one, we'll give y'all the best that we have in terms of availability, whether that's emotionally, calendarly, whatever makes sense. But again, life be life. And so we appreciate y'all sticking with us through the ups and downs, everybody who subscribed this season. And, we've got a couple episodes from season 3 already in the bag. So I think y'all really going to enjoy what we got going on, because we're going to dive into more even just, I won't say random topics, but just more impactful topics.
Yeah, and like I just mentioned, season 3 premiere is really special for me because Chris got to come in and sit with my surgical team, who's been with me through day one. And keep in mind, I have seeked out second and third opinions, and Dr. Beckett, you can tell he's a good dude. He's just a good dude. Yeah. And I'm really excited for you guys to hear just like the knowledge that he's about to spit on you guys with the spine and alternative ways to help your back pain and spine pain. And then he referred me to a new pain management doctor who focuses on alternative ways, not doing the pain meds, which is super important. I mentioned the Chronic Couch Pod. He asked if he could come on the Chronic Couch. So the Chronic Couch is making its way through the medical world, and for that, I'm super grateful. I look forward to another great season. For season 3, I'm thinking we're just gonna maybe get some really solid, cool guests, like a doctor I just mentioned, an Olympian, and maybe we spread out the content a little more, so that we have some bandwidth to heal and tend to our personal injuries, live, and work on our careers too. So that doesn't mean you guys can't reach out with any questions, comments, concerns. We're here for you. I love hearing from you. I know Chris loves hearing from you. And let's continue building up the Chronic Couch and get the word out. I think that's important too.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been about community, and the amount of people we've heard from over the last 2 seasons it's been great. Just knowing that we're achieving the goal that we set out to do, is just being able to talk to people, hear from different people, and just explore different methodologies of healing, right? So again, just holistic, comprehensive ways that is not just tied to Western medicine. And yeah, I mean, I think I'm excited because, again, we're going to continue to go down this rabbit hole of learning together and teaching y'all the things we learn about just here in LA that's not so gimmicky, but actually gets the job done. So much more to be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I mean, I feel like that's pretty much it, man. I got nothing else to say.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, get your asses to the beach.
Yes.
I'm about to jump in, and we will see you guys soon for season 3. Thank you for sticking around for season 2. Make sure you guys are spreading the love about the Chronic Couch. Subscribe, and we'll see y'all soon.
Season 2, it's a wrap.